You are recording, sir. It's all yours.
All right, it is now 6:02. We'll call this meeting of the Coventry Sewer Subcommittee to order. I will call each individual's name for attendance and just say here, Glenn Skirka, that's me, I'm here. Greg LaBoissonere,
Here.
Jen Ludwig,
Here.
Gary Cody.
Here.
At the present time, Mike Sakosha is not present. Tony Raposo is also not present. We also have, as part of the meeting, Bruce Hagerman. Say hi, Bruce.
Hi.
And let's see, we have Ed Wazika,
Good evening.
and we had Tim a minute ago. Well, there he is.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Attendance is finished. First order of business is approval of the July 9th, 2020 minutes. I will make the motion to approve as written unless there are any questions.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was Greg LaBoissonere. Jen?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
I also say aye. All right. Ayes have it. Next order of business is a sewer tie-in request. The Woods at Redbrook Phase 3, 100 April Court, assesses plat 24, lot 125. Tim, I assume you're representing the applicant. If you could just state your name and affiliation for the record.
Yes, good evening. For the record, my name is Timothy Behan, professional engineer. I work with Commonwealth Engineers and Consultants in Providence, Rhode Island. I will be representing the owner of the property, which is Offshore Development LLC, and the applicant is Shoreline Properties Incorporated. The Woods at Redbrook is a 36-unit condominium project. It's considered a planned unit development within the town. It's already received its master plan approval in the past, and we're at the preliminary plan stage now, getting ready to submit to the planning board. This project consists of a low-pressure sewer system within the condominiums, which pump to an existing gravity 8-inch sewer line, which is located in the cul-de-sac at April Court. I have a plan I could throw up on the screen if everybody would like to see that. Or is everybody familiar with the project?
We were all sent plans. Is there anyone present that would like to see the plan on the screen?
No, I'm familiar with the project.
I saw the paperwork.
Okay, I think you can move forward, Tim.
Okay, that's fine. So once again, it's 36 units. The total flow is going to be 10,800 gallons as an average daily flow. Each of the units will be equipped with a low pressure sewer pump, grinder pump, and it's going to pump through a small diameter Schedule 40 PVC pipe up the hill and discharge into the existing 8-inch gravity line located at the cul-de-sac in April Court. It's a rather simple project. It's a connection. We coordinated with the town and Bruce Hagerman with comments. We went through the plans, addressed the town comments. We've also coordinated with the city of West Warwick, and their response was they had no comments at this time. They're not going to review the project since they were familiar with the connection when it went in many years ago. I think it was 2004 or so that manhole went in, and at that time they put in anticipation of this project, a 2-inch low pressure sewer line stub so we can connect to it. And that's the pipe we're connecting to.
So Tim, this phase, when phase 1 was initially completed, was phase 2 on the radar back then?
This is actually considered phase 3.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with the history of the project. We weren't involved in phases 1 and 2, but when phase 2 went in, they constructed the sewer in the cul-de-sac for that connection. And at that time, they put a 2-inch low pressure stub towards our project for the intent of this project. So somebody resized it back then. They were aware of the size of the project, and our master plan is old. It was, the master plan for the town was a 2007, I believe. So this has been tabled with the tolling law for a long time, and we're getting back, dusting that off and submitting it back for preliminary plan.
Okay. I noticed on West Warwick's comments that there was a pretty good list of comments. Did you
That's
see
a-
those already?
Yes, that's the town of Coventry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, they come from West Warwick, but they're
Okay.
essentially West Warwick's comments.
Yes, we have coordinated and addressed actually two sets of comments. One was initially a longer set of comments. We addressed those, resubmitted, and then a second very short set of comments was issued, and we addressed those. And it's our understanding all the comments have been addressed and are satisfied.
Has DEM still stick to that 300 gallons a day for sewers? Or is it in
That's a
line with
DEM
the,
policy. Yeah, these units are only 2 bedrooms each, so 300 gallons per day is more of a technical, unit flow rate established by DEM for a unit, a
Right.
residential unit. We anticipate actually less flow than that.
are there different standards at DEM for sewers and septics?
You can use a septic design code, and that's 115 gallons per bedroom.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. I think that the 230 essentially is gonna help you guys along the way. And
Sure.
I'll tell you where I'm going with this is there's been a lot of concern over the capacity of the New London Turnpike line in the past.
Okay.
There was an approved development sort of next door to you that had a pretty substantial flow going into that line. There was some other stuff upstream that was proposed and also connected. But at one point, there was a study done to see what the capacity of that line could actually take. But I don't know where that point of design was, if it was upstream or if it was downstream from you. So I was a little concerned over the total daily flow, at using 300 gallons per day versus the 230, if that would, help with the numbers as far as what kind of capacity is in New London Turnpike.
That is correct. The 300 is very conservative, knowing our units are only 2 bedrooms each.
Right,
300 is appropriate for larger residential structures.
right.
So if we use the septic code, it's 115 gallons per day, and that's a peak flow rate. That's the
Right.
highest one day of
Right.
the year. Just to give
So
you an example.
you're also aware of our sewer assessments and that the value of the assessment is based on the total daily flow as well. Right?
Okay.
So if you could get those numbers down, it's beneficial to you. I think it's somewhat beneficial to us, but you can state your conservative numbers, but I think for assessment purposes.
We would like to resubmit that and use the DEM septic code.
Right, right. I mean, you're talking a substantial number and, you guys are going to be assessed at the commercial rate because it is one property with multiple units.
Yeah.
So that's a significant number.
Okay.
It also plays into the fact later when other properties try to tie into that New London Turnpike line, it also gives us, lower projected flows from you, may alleviate a little bit of future capacity for other people later.
Sounds good.
So I think if you revise those numbers at some point, even if it's, at your final submission, that, being conservative is great, but the world runs on money,
That's correct.
right?
It's realistic. The 115 is much more realistic.
Right, right. So that's the only comment that I see. Does anybody else on the board have any questions or concerns for Tim? I think we'll go in order. Greg, anything?
No, I have no concerns.
Okay,
I do like your observation there, though. I think
Okay.
that'd be very cool.
Jen?
So I just want to make sure I understand. So this
This isn't the official tie-in. This is just a preliminary review.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, this is the actual tie-in request. Is there an
This
application?
is the tie-in, yeah.
Yes, this is the tie-in request.
So based on your suggestion, Mr. Chairman, are they going to be able to resubmit this with the revised numbers if we approve tonight?
That's a good question. Bruce, any thoughts?
You could just make a condition that the average design flow
Sure.
used to determine the assessment is based on the DEM per bedroom flow rate.
Right, okay. Anything else, Jen?
Nope.
Gary?
I'm just wondering, I thought I heard the engineer say that each unit was going to be equipped with a macerator pump in each unit to pump the waste up the hill to the gravity line. Am I correct?
That is correct. That is the proposal.
Would it be any less expensive for the developer if everything from the unit fed into a on-location tank and one pump pumped everything up the hill to the gravity fed line?
That is definitely an option, but if I review the sewer regulations, it appears that that is no longer allowed. Do I understand, looking at that correctly, Bruce? It appears that the town of Coventry does not want a single pump unit servicing a condominium development.
Yeah, I've never seen that in the regulations, Tim.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember ever seeing that in the regulations either. That's
it
why I brought
could
it up.
be. I would think the E1 system is probably cheaper to install, I would think.
Well, you got a pretty significant number of them. I mean, Tim, I think at this point it's your prerogative if you're doing the design, whatever you want to use. But I think the town has approved other developments with central pump stations. I believe the one right up the road at the top of the hill on New London Turnpike on the other side of 95 has a central pump station.
Sure does.
There's probably, I would have to read the language again, but it is in the regulations. It may say, unless approved by the director or something to that effect. But the intent was in the regulations, at least, not to have a single pump servicing many units. I think because in other towns, when those need to be replaced or a major upgrade, sometimes those developments complain to the town. They want the town to take it over and et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Well, maybe you could save a few bucks and do a pump station per building instead of per unit. I don't know. It's up to you. You're the designer. But I think the option is there if you want to take it.
Well, the option is also every 2 units you can do one pump.
Right. Right. So I don't think the town is opposed.
Okay. So that's open. I could work that out with the town continuing with the preliminary plan approval, and Bruce will be reviewing the engineering going forward.
Yeah. Worst case, you come back for a new tie-in application.
Okay. Yeah, it's simple enough.
Right. Okay. All right. I believe I have a written resolution prepared for the woods at Red Brook. Is there any other questions from the board? All right, hearing none, I will make the motion as I'm about to read. So this is a resolution of the Coventry Sewer Subcommittee. Whereas after examining the applications, designs, plans, and all other submitted documentation, the Coventry Sewer Subcommittee recommends that the town council approve sewer tie-in application to Offshore Development LLC for the Woods at Red Brook Phase 3, 100 April Court, Assessors Plat 24, Lot 125, such that the applicant shall sufficiently comply with all the requirements necessary per the town sewer ordinance and the town engineer's review comments. In addition, we will make the comment that the projected flows will be reduced from 300 gallons per day to 230 gallons per day per unit. So that was the motion. It's been made by me.
Second,
Gary
Gary Cody, second.
Gary Cody seconded it. Greg,
Yes,
approve.
approve.
Jen?
Approve.
Well, that's 100% approval. The ayes have it. Okay, we're all set. Tim, thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business is new business, and that's an update on the West Warwick Sewer Subcommittees. You're on, Jen.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. So we did meet last week. However, there weren't any items that, specifically referenced Coventry or anything that I felt were newsworthy for this forum.
Okay, that's always good news. No news is good news, right?
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Jen regarding the West Warwick Sewer Subcommittee meetings? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next order of business, which is public and subcommittee member comment. I don't think there's anyone from the public on.
There is not.
Okay, so is there anyone from the subcommittee that has any concerns or comments? Hearing none, I will make the motion to adjourn.
Second, Gary.
Greg,
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Me too. Okay, thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Stay healthy.